Morning, ma'am. This is Gracie from ITA. My topic is about the history of software engineering. Introduction. Software engineering has evolved over time from being considered an art to becoming a recognized engineering discipline. In the early days of computing, software development was primarily done by individuals or small teams who wrote code based on their own experience and knowledge. The approach was often referred to as hacking or programming by intuition. As the field of computing grew, it became apparent that this approach was not sustainable and that a more structured and systematic approach was needed. In the 1960s and 1970s, the field of software engineering began to take shape. Researchers and practitioners began to develop formal methods for software design and development, such as structured programming and the use of flowcharts to represent algorithms. In 1968, a conference on software engineering was held, and the term software engineering was officially coined. In the following decades, software engineering continued to evolve and mature. The introduction of object oriented programming in the 1980s led to a shift in how software was designed and developed. The 1990s saw the emergence of the agile software development methodologies, which emphasized flexibility and responsiveness to change. Today, software engineering is a well established field with its own set of practices, methodologies, and tools. It is considered as a discipline of engineering and follows the same principles like any other engineering field. In summary, software engineering has evolved from an art to a discipline with its own set of best practices, methodologies, and tools. The field has grown and matured over time with new technologies and approaches being developed to improve the design and development of software. Software evaluation. Software evaluation process. Change request. Change request to impact analysis. Impact analysis to release planning. Release planning to change implementation. System release. From release planning to fault repair, platform adaptation, system enhancement. Software evaluation is a term which refers to the process of developing software initially, then timely updating it for various reasons, that is, to add new features or to remove obsolete functionalities, etc. The evaluation process includes fundamental activities of change analysis, releasing planning, system implementation, and releasing a system to customers. The cost and impact of these changes are accessed to see how much system is affected by the change and how much it might cost to implement the change. If the proposed changes are accepted, a new release of the software system is planned. During release planning, all the proposed changes are considered. A design is then made on which changes to implement in the next version of the system. The process of change implementation is an iteration of the development process where the revision to the system are designed, implemented, and tested. Changes in requirement with time. With the passes of time, the organization needs and modus operandi of working could substantially be changed. So, in this frequently changing time, the tools that they are using need to change for maximizing the performance. Environment change. As the working environment changes, the things that enable us to work in that environment also changes proportionally. Same happens in the software world as working environment changes then. The organizations need reintroduction of old software with update features and functionality to adapt the new environment. Errors and bugs. As the age of the deployed software within an organization increases their preciseness or impeccability decreases and the efficiency to bear the increasing complexity workload also continually degrades. So in that case it becomes necessary to avoid use of obsolete and aged software. All such obsolete softwares need to undergo the evaluation process in order to become robust as per the workload complexity of the current environment. Security risks. Using outdated software within an organization may lead you to the verge of various software based cyber attacks and could expose you confidential data illegally associated with the software that is in use. For having new functionality and features in order to increase the performance and fast data processing and other functionalities, an organization needs to continuously evaluate the software throughout its life cycle so that stakeholders and clients of the product could work efficiently. Development cycle life cycle: planning, analyzing, design, implement, test, evaluation, release, support. Laws used for software evaluation: law of continuing change, law of increasing complexity, law of conservation of organization stability, law of conservation of familiarity, change identification process, change proposal, software evaluation process, new system. The history of software engineering is a fascinating journey that encompasses the evolution of software development practices and methodologies. It's a field that has grown immensely since its inception in the mid 20th century. Here is a brief overview of the history of software engineering. Early computing 1940s to 1950s. The software crisis 1960s. Birth of software engineering late 1960s. Waterfall model 1970s. Agile manifesto 2001. Software development today: artificial intelligence and machine learning. Software security: the future of software engineering. Benefits: there are many benefits to treating software development as an engineering discipline. Some of the key benefits include improved quality, increased productivity, greater predictability, better communication, greater maintainability, best cost, better cost management, better scalability. Important points: software engineering has evolved from being considered an art form to being considered an engineering discipline. The transition from art to craft involved bringing more structure and discipline to the software development process. The transition from craft to engineering discipline involved a more formalized and structured approach, with a focus on using establishment, process, and methodologies to ensure the quality and reliability of software systems. Thank you.